Oh, we're accidentally live. We're accidentally. I need to post this at Starry Eyes aficionados. We are starting in a minute. Maybe accidentally live. Okay, let me put this on here.
Oh, we are accidentally live. Rogue.
Yep, Vogue indeed.
No, that's not Indeed, that's Muno.
Oh. Yeah, what you did there. Alright. Dish. And we're live. Supposedly.
I mean, we were already.
I mean, yeah. You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm also here.
Yeah. Hi. Geek is here again. Yes.
We are starting!
We are starting, yes. Respectfully, we are the creators of Olympia, Astra, and Hollow, just in case you don't know. Anyway, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah!
an amazing one too. I believe their name is Uza. Uza? No, I don't think it's Uza. I'm not sure. I believe she has like 4 characters. Right. Anyway, yeah.
How are
Amazing
they making
animation.
all these so fast?
I don't know. That's my biggest question. It's like, okay, you just finished Mayu. You're suddenly working on another character. Like, oh, they did work on this character before, but now they're.
Yeah. Like, who did you sell your soul to? I want to know.
I know, right? um,
Mm-hmm. But
I would. Okay, so at the very start, I just noticed a lot of things here. First of all, it's a mouse.
oh, yeah,
Mouse
it is.
with a mask. Yeah, mouse gang.
Mouse.
Actually, I can't point out anything that's problematic here. Just because it's like there's so many moving parts, and all of those moving parts are also moving accordingly. Mm-hmm. The follow through is definitely done correctly as well. I mean, I can't really point out anything here. How about you guys?
My only kind of gripe with this is that like the like coat thing, it looks like grass. I don't know. It kind of jitters a bit on the follow through, but like that's it.
So my mic was off.
Good job.
Sorry guys, missed the whole minute and everything. Hey, I'm Sprite. Anyway.
Wow. Okay. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
It's early for everybody, man.
The entire time we were introducing, it's off.
Yeah, the whole like minute gone like that.
Cool.
Anyway,
Oh,
to clarify, we got Sprite Star for stream and Geek over here.
We should just restart. Do it again, pretend nothing happened.
No, we're already here. We're doing it live. We're doing it.
Oh no! so like, this is technically the second time on the second stream where we say it's live. Oh gosh, good job. It's great. No, it's rewind time.
Oh my god.
No, I don't think we need a rewind. I mean, I did start first and Geek. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sprite Star.
we haven't missed out any like essential like tips on this yet. So
Yeah, it was mostly just introductory stuff.
yeah. But I guess the only thing that I would like point out for this is that like the cape part kind of, it's flowy. Yeah, it does the job, and it does the job well, but it's not. I personally don't feel like it's like selling the force of the thrust as much as it should. Like a little bit more of like a flare up of the cape could help with that.
I think it's more. It just needs a little bit pause, smaller pause.
Yeah,
A small pause. That could do it too. I mean, it already flares up. It just needs a pause.
yeah, to just show it flaring up a bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if like considering hit pause is actually a thing in the game, it's like it probably would hang on the keyframe that well.
Yeah. I mean, even then, it's like a nitpick thing. I'm quite sure in game this looks amazing. Like, it's just a very well animated like attack. Like I am just seeing this one attack makes me excited to see this character in action. It's just it's just so well done. We got a comment saying the hair and the cloak feels like they're the same movement. In my opinion, I think the cloak should have less momentum. If it is, it's heavier than the hair in terms of material, but that's just me. I don't think so. I think it having a consistent movement, the hair does have a little bit of a problem where it kind of just like, it goes up and then quickly snaps back down.
Oh yeah.
But even that's on like the end part, like the where the actual thrust shows up. So like doing it in between there could help with that. But as far as like the hair to cloak ratio, I think it's fine considering the kind of character it's from.
Yeah.
I wouldn't nitpick a little too much like that.
And
yeah.
besides, sometimes you have to like, again, break the conventions just to sell emotion too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by God, it sells the motion.
Yeah. It's probably just taking one of those like frames before the hair is supposed to go back into its stationary state, to give it a little bit of an in-between so the hair it'll be a clear movement that it's going back to that point instead of it is like goes up and then snaps back down.
Yeah.
But even then, that's just like one frame, and that might be just editing one frame. Still, it's you got most of the work done, like 97%. That 3% is the hair thing, in my opinion. Not,
Mhm.
Don't add any frames, don't take away any frames. Just clean up the one frame, and then boom, you got a 10 out of 10 animation. No flaws
Yeah.
whatsoever. But,
Like, side note, like, the Psy's art style is, like, kind of a little messier than Rivals' style. Like, Rivals' style is very, like, clean.
yeah.
But that's not really a criticism. I kind of want to see an entire game with that art style. It's very, like, not, like, scratchy, but it's got a bit more, like, grit to it, and I really...
Oh yeah, it definitely has its own form of energy just from the art style alone, and it's way different than Rivals' energy that it comes from, which is just like how the animations and stuff, because it's still like kind of cartoony, but it's still clean with the lines and stuff. And like Psy's art style is just, well, at least sprite style is like messy and like more rugged, I guess would be a better word for that.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't think there's much else that we could talk about this. It's a very strong animation, so let us move on to the next animation. Artillery Crab is making a return, and this time with an intro animation. It is massive. Hold on, let me scale this down real fast.
It is
Boom.
33 frames.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole sequence right there.
It finally beat ×2 speed, and it said that it would be appreciated if you give a little focus on the legs. So, going back up from crouch.
Oh
What do you guys
yeah.
think?
They do kind of like snap a little.
I mean, you see that? It's like a cartoonic thing.
Mhm.
And fine as it is, would be a nitpick. I mean, for me, if I would do this, I would have a little bit more bounce. When getting back
like
to regular idle pose.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Like when it goes from like the squat down to the idle, you would like pop up like 1 pixel a bit.
Mm-hmm. But that's just me. How about you, Spar?
Let me.
Is your mic acting up again?
Oh no! I'm just like reading. I'm reading back on the notes.
Okay.
We'll focus on the legs and animation. Okay. So you're doing a really good job with like how the legs are. It's still like the length of the legs is kind of it goes way out further, but I think that's just like a cartoony way of selling that it's going to do there. I do like how one side of the legs is moving in before the other side of the legs are. I think that's a very, very nice attention to detail, and it's not more so just personality of the character itself, but more so just like it moves on its own, like it's one leg over the other too. Like it's not personality to the character, but it's personality to the animation, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it's mainly the length of the legs that's the most jarring part, and even then I'm like mixed on, because the kind of it's a squatch frame, so I can't really be like, oh, make the legs shorter when it's a squash frame, right? It doesn't have to be like squash frames does not have to be like a ball, like a really rubbery ball, like getting squished on the ground before it comes back up. Like, you can exaggerate one part of the body to do the same thing, and it works. Like, in all intents and purposes, this is a squash frame. And I think what's the thing is, the thing that's probably what's holding you back is that the squash frame is happening 1 frame too long. I think that's what's happening here, because I might be second guessing this. I might just get the number wrong because this kind of looks like a 2-frame before he starts moving the legs back.
For me, I think it needs just a little bounce frame just before going back to neutral.
Oh yeah. If it is 2 frames, then just take that first frame to lower the body like 1 pixel down, and then it makes the movement that much more fluid and makes the squash frame that more impactful looking. Honestly, that's the only thing I can point out on this animation. It's again another stellar animation on top of that.
Yeah, he's moving.
I just like the tiny details on this one. The little guy springing the cannon, just going into the back, and I just realized it's like a tank part of it, and like it's a small crab operating at the back of crab.
I just realized he's like actually going into the turret. I thought he was like going behind him.
I know, right?
That's some great attention to detail. I like that.
This character is a fucking crab, and it has so much personality. I love it.
I know, right?
This is a great example of at personality character. It makes it that much like that better, that much more better because of it. Because you only have a limited amount of frames, a limited amount of attacks to show it, but the more you show it, the better your character just gets. Like, Exhibit A right here. But
yeah.
Yeah. Tip to everybody: add more personality. Be like that guy.
Yeah.
Let us move on to the next character.
Isn't this a released character already?
Oh yeah, this guy came out literally like a week or so ago. Shocked the world by storm because he just came out of nowhere. And yeah, King Briggs, aka the character. Yes, this character just looks great. But he did send in this animation. I chose this one over the intro because I think the intro is fine how it is. But this one has a little bit more points that we can add to it. I think the one thing that I would say that it's holding it back is that, like, the frame where King Briggs is actually, like, jumping up, it's fine. But the apex of the jumping when he's falling down is not exaggerated enough. Like, he kind of it's just plopping down. There's not much of a sell that he's actually, like, lowering himself down until he, like, takes the seat. That could be fixed one or two ways. You could have the body look like it's, going to take a seat, or you could do the other way that's probably more efficient in time, is just let the cape flow out a bit as it's falling down, because it's still being affected by gravity and wind and all that stuff. Just giving more physics to the actual, like, cloak cape would help with that without having to do some extraneous body bending and whatnot. That's the easier option, and is definitely the option that would work just as well as the other, but that is my one pointer for that.
Okay, so my criticism is also the same, right? It's almost the same, but the ways would do it would be a bit more harder than what he said, and would be having this. Remember the squash and stretch bouncy ball example? Yeah, exactly like that, but on the king. Right? You shoot up, you stretch vertically, and then you're at apex. You are stretching by width, and then vertically again, and then when you land the stick and on the seat, stretch horizontally again, and then back to normal. And it's like basically the bouncing ball example. Yeah.
Yeah. But thankfully, capes are actually pretty easy to animate like that. So
yeah, a couple of ways to definitely solve this. mean, other than that, I can't really see much of a problem. I mean, this guy is already like losing that smug king personality.
Oh yeah.
Alright. I don't really have much here. I mean, for the amount of frames that you're using, it's great already.
Yeah.
How about you, Geek?
Like, I'm mirroring your criticisms. Like, the jump probably needs a little bit more stretch and squash. I said those backwards. Also, the actual throne, like, I can tell you're just kind of like scaling the sprite and cleaning it up a little bit, which isn't bad, but it feels like it could use a little bit more polish just so it doesn't look like it's scaled, like squished down.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels like it could have a little bit more emphasis on like the tip of the throne, because that's the most important part of the hitbox.
The way you could do this is you could like put the throne into several layers. You could like have like the front, the arms of the seat go up first.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
then like the seat, then the back, and then like have that upper crown like jump a little bit at the top when it's at the apex, and then before it crashes down.
Mm-hmm. Like you could have like the crown of the throne like stretch a bit more than everything else, just to like emphasize the whole spike part of it.
Mm-hmm. That could work too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. It's
I'm
already good.
surprised how
Yeah.
surprisingly good this character came out.
Yeah, considering that it just literally came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, great submission. Even with the little critiques and whatnot, it's still like a strong animation. It can be a lot stronger, and that's why you're here. So, yeah, let us move over to the next submission.
I mean,
Let's stretch our legs. All right, Yoshi. Is this a sprite grip Yoshi done right?
yeah, it looks like they're using like the Yoshi's Island sprites. It's like a base, but they aren't like copying everything.
Oh yeah, no, they're just using the Yoshi Island sprites as a form, like a style, but they're still making custom sprites for it instead of trying to like create it on
Okay, cool.
their own art style for it. Which, for anyone that's making another sprite rip, this is how you get on my good side.
Yeah,
This
please
is how you do it.
please do our.
Yeah. Who would like to take the first jab at Yoshi?
I noticed something actually.
Yes.
The thigh kind of disappears. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but it looks like the leg gets like really thin in the follow through.
Oh yeah, I'm starting to see that.
I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening. I was typing back at the chat. Yeah.
There's
the
some
arm.
Yeah, there's some mass. Oh yeah, and the arm too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. This is just an issue of maintaining mass, which is a very like amateur thing to miss out on because you don't really think about it. Hell, most fucking professionals barely think about it, depending on the art style. So, don't feel too bad about it.
Also, did you notice the colors clipping on the arm?
Yeah, that's also like a losing of mass thing. They're probably moving pixels around individually, but only did it on one part of the hand because that's very extraneous movement. Like, it's just a lot. Yeah, no, it's just like inconsistencies of lines and then adding and removing mass to areas that it doesn't need to.
Like
Yeah, go ahead.
like with the leg, it's like if you need help like seeing how big it should be, like look like when he starts turning the when he starts turning his leg back to like the idle airframe, like you can like it suddenly gets really big, and I think you should just kind of keep that even on the follow through. Like on the active frame, it's fine. Like when his shoe's huge, that's just emphasis. That's just a Mario thing.
Yeah.
Then the leg size is fine, but it gets like weirdly small and like thin.
Like unusually small, not slow, small.
Yeah.
We're really good at saying things today.
I just realized the leg bending that hurts.
Yeah.
So the kick, it's the outline is wrong. All over the place. Also, for me, it's the smear. It's most, most striking because like it's not using the entire foot. That's just me though.
That is weird.
It's also weird too because like it's such of a fast. Like smears are supposed to be fast, right? Like smears are there to emphasize the motion that the guy can't keep up with. That's also true, but it's also like a blink. Like it's even for a smear is way too fast.
For me, the smear suggests it's like it's doing a circular kick motion, but it looks like a straight kick.
Yeah.
The animation itself, though.
This is one of those This is an example of a smear that just doesn't need to be there, because the transition into the actual attack is so minuscule anyway that having it be a smear is just like adding more work to it. You know, like it'd be fine without the smear. Like the growing of the boot is what's emphasizing that the hit is coming out, not the smear, you know? I would be a big advocate of like doing smears and doing better smears, but I think this is an issue. I think this is an issue where you just don't need the smear. I think it's fine without it.
Yeah, agreed. Also, an issue with the smear is that like it doesn't cover the whole motion, like where it traveled. It's just kind of
yeah. But yeah, no, like to recap, growing a mass, or rather losing mass within the leg and the arm, some line indiscrepancies within the arm, some anatomy things with the leg, and then just removing that one frame smear, and there you go. That's what you got. Anybody else got anything else you would like to add to this?
I know it sounds scary, but turn the head a little bit. You will thank yourself later when you have to turn the head again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. I can't even like add more to that. Just turn the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn head.
Literally. It's the thing. Just turn the head. Yeah.
It helps a lot. Helps a lot. But
it's scary, but like if you can't do it, you don't have to. But it just sells the emotion a bit more.
Also, another like artist tip for everybody, especially intermediate beginners, especially. Don't sit there and like constantly tell yourself and psych yourself out on like not doing difficult things because you just don't know how to do it. People that has done animation for a long time, especially during like the golden age where people were like just figuring out what worked and what didn't. Yeah, animation's trial and error. Just go for it. Like the more you tell yourself I can't do that, I don't know how, that just means you're never gonna get around to doing it again. Like, be ambitious with what you're trying to do with your animations, because you will learn from what you're doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, just don't be afraid of your animation. This is just a big old tip for everybody. Just don't be afraid of it.
It's not going to bite you.
You can quote me on this, Sprite Star 2020, but you only make your worst work once. Just go for it.
That's a good quote, actually. I like that.
Yeah. But yeah, enough inspirational. Let's go on to the next Nintendo character that's coming up in Rivals of Aether. Ness. I moved the wrong.
Okay.
Frame. Yeah.
It is. It's strong.
Yep. It is the it's the good old bat.
It's a goal. Go back.
Yes. Another.
I love that
dude.
noise.
It's good sound design. Okay, so as a very vocal Earthbound fan, you're trying to keep the art style of Earthbound, or Mother 2, and have it transition into Rivals of Aether style. That's not a bad thing. I will say this, and I'm quite sure this is just because of it's a work in progress, or maybe it's finished, and if it is, yikes. Where's the book bag? You're using an animation where he's turning his body so the back can be visible, and the backpack is just gone.
It's on the first frame.
It's on the first frame. It's supposed to be there, but it's not in the actual animation. I'm guessing that you were just working on the full animation and you called it quits here. If it is a finished animation, if it's not, then you just didn't add the book bag, and that's fine. You can always add stuff to these animations. I'm not sure what's happening with the hat either.
Yeah, it's like the bill of it isn't turning, but the actual hat part of it.
Yeah, it's like turning the opposite direction of the head, which is strange.
Yeah.
There's a lot of inconsistent things happening, and I can already tell from the pillow shading that you're not. This is not your first. Well, this is your first time actually attacking an animation on this kind of scale. You've probably messed around with like sprites in like different styles and stuff, but you haven't like gone out of your way to do like a big project like making a Rivals mod. You gotta start somewhere, but it's best for us to tell you about this stuff than literally any forum anywhere else. So God, just remembering my days on DeviantArt like 7 years ago, where I just get ragged on for even the slightest hint of pillow shading. Oh no, it was bad. But yeah, no, like it's more you use the shading for shadows, and that's pretty much it. And since you're doing like Earthbound style, like Earthbound art style, you probably don't need the shading in general, because all the effects and stuff, all the shading and stuff goes into the actual attack effects. Like that's the trippy part about Earthbound like sprites. It's only gotten to like Mother 3 where all of it was unified, but for like Earthbound 0 and Mother, well, yeah, Earthbound 1 and Earthbound 0, or Mother 1 and Mother 2, the emphasis was on the actual like effects of the attacks, not the sprite work of the like overworld or whatever, which made it charming, but trippy at the same time. I would probably say just like reduce the colors that you're using for like the body and stuff. Fix up the hat so like the seams of the hat would be the darkest color of the hat instead. So that way there's some color going on there. And just like leave other things as simple as possible. But other than that, pretty good. Before I go into another tangent, how about someone else take the mantle real quick?
Yeah, it's just me. It's just the posing. Basically, I'm not sure if you have keyframes on this one. Looks like you have keyframes. It's just that I think it's in the wrong place. You should try like overextending that swing.
Oh yeah, that's tiny.
That's a very tiny swing. It's like extend that swing, or maybe like make the entire swing fast, right? The entire swing's fast, and then like just like have a slowdown at the very end. It sells the motion that you're swinging a bat, right? And like that, and swinging a bat as hard as you can. Other than that, did you guys notice the hat?
Oh
Yeah.
The bill is weird, and then the seams are like turning, like this really uncomfortable fashion. I know the hat can't feel anything, but it just looks uncomfortable seeing it turn that way. You know, like it's you got the idea with like the subtle motion at the beginning, and then it just like snaps like halfway, and then like the hat also like turns the other direction while the seams is going the other. It's just a lot of stuff going on here. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Oh. Also, here's another case of unnecessary smears. You probably shouldn't have the smear frames on the when he's putting the bat back. Like on the swing, it's fine, but like he's not really putting it back with a whole lot of force, so you don't really need a smear there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was also another thing I was gonna bring up before I was like, maybe I should like let these other two people talk real fast.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much like Sprite Star said everything I'm going to say anyway. Yeah, it really just the unnecessary smear of putting it back, like what you said. And here's another thing: it's just to make the smear consistent, right? Check out how people do the smears. They are not in different positions. They follow a single arc or motion, and you just basically try to fade into that, right? That's like the start of the smear. It's just one part, and then like the entire smear, and then the end of the smear. Okay, thing. You could talk a lot of other people's sprites with that. What's that fighting game sprite database again?
Darkstalkers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Darkstalkers has some beautiful smears in it.
You could check how the smears work there, and you'll see what I mean. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah.
Sprite Star marked out everything that I was going to say.
I'm sorry. I'm very passionate about Earthbound. I love that game. I need to.
It's okay. It's okay to be passionate about Earthbound. I'm passionate about Earthbound. It's got a ridiculous story, and I love it.
Yes.
Especially the aesthetic, right? It nailed down the style that I really like, especially from a game called Y2K. But we're here to talk about animation.
Yes. So you gotta get a little bit of work going on, but you got plenty of time to work on it. Just take it slow. That's just please take it slow. Just
Hey,
do that.
hey! For reference, look at Molo's D special.
Oh yeah, that's another good reference you can go for. But let us go to our next one, and we got another Starry Eyes favorite. One of us in particular. As soon as God, these frames are big. Okay, just need to.
Oh, they're actually resizing it properly, at least.
Yeah, but
Lord,
the resizing is like inconsistent between people, and that's why I gotta scale up to scale down all the time. Anyway,
we always ask to scale up by 3.
yes, that is the preferred amount. Scale up by 3 times 300. They're the same thing. Just it just makes a lot of this like streamlined a lot better on my end, because I can't just constantly test it out. Anyway, we got this animation, and I don't know if there's anything to say about it. Like, what? Why? This is another Vil moment where just like The animations are just so good regardless.
I think they just want for us to check on it because, like, back then, remember when they were starting? It's their first time. Remember?
Ah! It was Squally's first time too, dang it.
Yeah, this one is like, okay, I think you improved enough.
Yeah,
You
like
could-
this running
No.
animation is beautiful, man. Like it's simple, it shows off what the character is about. The frames are just where it needs to be. It's just a stellar 10 out of 10 animation. Like
Yeah, I can't even complain about the head bob. You got the depth right. The tail is actually hiding behind the leg.
yeah, like this is just a good animation. I have no words for it. This is just good.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Geek? That's fine.
It's good.
There you go.
Okay, anyway, next submission. Sorry,
Ascended
Squally.
past critique.
You have ascended past critique at
Yes.
this point. Well,
You and Squally both are in that area where we're just gonna keep doing that every time you submit something until we find something that is able for us to like break down. But like right now, you are in good hands. Just
you're in very much good hands.
Just-
And if you really need us to take a look at a certain partner where you're absolutely not sure for, feel free to tag us because you are at that point that we could tell you which ones that is just bad, and if you're not sure about it, we could tell you because like at this point it's you're really getting to a point where you're better than most people already.
Yeah, you have a good mastery on how you're making your sprites, and that's the most important part about making efficient sprites. Like, I had to learn that the hard way through just like trying out it, like spriting styles back in the day, and then I made Olympia. It's like, oh, this is how I like to do it. You know, like this
Mhm.
is
Okay, maybe a small criticism after all.
oh
Arm length. It's just that, you know, the shoulder where it's supposed to blend.
oh yeah,
It
it's
blended the
it's
upper arm.
it's like slightly large, like slightly longer.
Huh.
Yeah, it's slightly longer, or more of like it merges to the outline too late. Like the merge of the upper arm.
Yeah, like where the shirt bend is supposed to be.
Yeah, where the shirt bend is supposed to be, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah. But even then, that's just like one line per frame. Like you're very, very minor thing. It had to take us like staring at it for like 3 minutes for us to find that. You're good. Yeah, just fix that. And then boom, 10 out of 10 animation. Probably 11 out of 10. Because that just makes it like, yeah. You're doing a good job.
We couldn't spot anything at first try.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I want to play this character.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, let's move over to another run animation. And where'd it go? I swear to God. Okay, where did it go? Where did it go? Hold on, I gotta.
It disappeared.
It disappeared, and I know why, because it's very small compared to the other animation, so I have to go back to that, move this down, and switch it back, because it's a very small animation, and it's going outside of the frame of the stream. Yeah. God dang it. This is always at 300%, guys. It's just... I had to, like, resize my window, like, 7 times to find it. Oh boy. Anyway, we got Sentai Man running towards his destination, and this, unlike the last submission, we got it. I can already tell you that there's gonna be a couple of things that can be said. One of which, and I'm quite sure this is just like a timing thing or whatever. There's a frame that you're missing a frame. You're missing 2 frames, and that's one of the frames that they're holding. You're getting the that no 300% is to upscale it to. Like you have your normal size of the sprite, and then you upscale it by 300%. That's like the nice size for submitting it for Starry Eyes. But yeah, back to this. There's a very awkward frame. Well, very awkward 2 frames on where like the knees are supposed to be up in the air. And it just looks weird, you know? Like I understand the thought process behind it, but that's not how runs work. It's supposed to be one fluid motion instead of like, all right, taking a step up and then I'm gonna hold real fast and then I'm gonna take my other step and I'm gonna hold and I'll take the other step. That's not how it's. The legs are supposed to be moving constantly. There's no like pausing in between because the body is just in motion, so you have to convey that in motion. It's just you're missing frames that smooth it out, and that's what's making it weird looking for me. That's like the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, you got keyframes right. It's just a thing for.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it looks like what do we call this? You know those old classic NES games where they run cycles.
Oh yeah, like first generation Mega Man, where like the frames are just keyframes, but they're held in such a way that it just moves with the speed of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine back then, but when you have an engine that has a way larger amount of images that you can use, and you're not using them correctly, it's jarring. Like, especially compared to other characters, Base Cast and Workshop. It has its own charm, but I don't think that's the charm that this character is supposed to bring out. You're just missing like those in-betweens there. That's it. That's just for the legs itself and with like the overall motion of the animation. He has tiny hand.
Small! Yeah, I just noticed that.
He has
Oh my god.
Very tiny hand. And I understand that it's like a perspective thing, but it's not like the arm is in the way background. That's when they're like small in perspective. When they're like adjacent to your body, like how arms are when you run, they shouldn't be that small. They should be just normal size. That's
They look like shovel hands to me.
Yeah, they're just weirdly small on this character. What do you guys think? What else can you point out on this?
Just as a side note, I am actually really like admired by how like I can see you getting confidence as you animate more of this character.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could like in the first animations I could see like you did not want to redraw anything because it was scary and you didn't want to draw anything. You already did a lot. But with this one you're like moving everything. Like you're moving the torso, you're moving the shoulders. I can see you're copying and pasting the legs, but it's like that I do that too.
Yeah. Like that's the trick of the trade. Like we can't even fault you on that. You're good.
And you turn the head.
Yeah, you're turning the head, dude. Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's pretty exciting to actually see.
Also, something I would change is make the leg in the back darker, because as it is, it's really hard to tell which leg is in the front.
Oh yes. Just definitely do that.
Yeah, this is what I mean by like, the same thing in like NES games. Because like, sometimes they have the dedicated frame on the other one, but turns out it looks the same just because of the legs. Look,
Yeah, like Super Mario World, his run animation is only 3 frames, and like that's for like one stride. Like it just repeats the same thing. Technically, he's stepping with the same leg every time, and people just never notice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just so fast. Oh yeah, and also other than that, update the shine. Shine should like change a bit
Yeah.
with like when you move the arm, right? On the chest, the shine on the chest.
Oh, on the chest.
Yeah,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
like- because it looks like it's constant right now. It's like the shoulder seems like it's shut. It's sliding around the armor,
Uh-huh.
right? And yeah, that's pretty much what I got to say.
On the tip of the making the side that's facing away from the camera angle or where the viewpoint is, you don't need to make a new dark palette. Just remove all the mid and lights on that leg that's like not in front of everything else, and that's it. That would literally be enough without you making it like a 3 color palette to a 4 color palette. You just use the darkest shade for all the points, and that's it. That's all you need to do.
Mm-hmm. You could check Astra on that if you want to double check. It don't use like 3-point shading on some Astra's moves. It's just like literally the darkest color. It's just there.
Yeah. Also, if you missed your character in the podcast, do not worry. We have all this recorded on VOD, so you can listen back to this at any given point. So, no need to worry about that. But,
Much to my anxiety.
yeah, now you can listen to the intro of Nothing But Silence from me because I didn't unmute my microphone.
Yes. You could see that beauty. You could also see that beauty where I accidentally pressed go live a minute into the stream. So, we got a bunch of mistakes this stream.
Yeah,
Not episode 10, no less.
We are
A sudden increase in quality.
Not on the stream's end.
Oh man, yeah, we are 3 very professional people. Anyway, let us move on to our last submission. And
Hey, Pikuniku.
yes, we have a Pika. It is massive. What? Okay. Just need to do that. There we go. All right. So we got ourselves a neutral special. I'm assuming it looks like a neutral special. Not neutral special. Neutral aerial.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said that it works like Kirby Nair.
Yeah.
Kirby Nair. Yeah, Kirby Neutral Air, both in concept and animation. Mind if I go first?
Go for it.
Okay, first of all, the thing I noticed the most is like, alright, it's not even a spin itself. It's that the way you angle the body at the very start, right? The way they swing before they spin, right? That doesn't look like an actual rotation. It looks like you're putting each side of the head, right? And skewing it,
Mhm.
and then just connecting the line there.
Oh, I see how you can fix that. Just move those frames 1 pixel up.
Yeah, because right now they look like extremely static. It's very noticeable.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, something that a lot of people don't talk about is, like, most motions have, like, anchor points, and if the anchor point isn't right, it'll look weird. And in this case, like, the right side of the head doesn't move, so it looks like everything is anchored there. So if you...
It's also the left side of the head, too. Did you notice?
Yeah.
Kinda... oh, yeah, on the ending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, if you move that so like the middle of the head is the part that doesn't move instead of the sides, then you'll have a really good spin.
Oh boy.
He said it. He said it.
He said the line, guys.
All right. How about you guys?
You know, it's overall a good animation, which is, not gonna lie, shocking considering how little I've seen this character.
And also, not gonna lie, knowing how much, like, you were an absolute beginner at first.
Yeah. Yeah, you're persistent, and that's probably, like, your biggest, like, positive as an animator. It's like, you don't know when to quit, and that's a good thing. That's the thing, like, it has weaknesses, right? But I'm not sure what those weaknesses are right now, because, like, I'm so fixated on, like, that one flourish at the end where, like, the legs move back in place that it just, like, for me, visually makes up for it. Like, I'm more excited to see the animation on its whole entirety than try to break down what's happening at the first or at the beginning. And also just personal move preference and things like that or whatever. I definitely do agree with the whole head thing at the beginning and at the end of the animation. I giving credit where credit is due. Leg swing at the very end, top notch. Good.
Yeah.
This is really good. Considering that this character came from a physics game and you're paying more attention to physics than any other person in Workshop is right now, considering just you want to like keep it true to the character's like source material, it's good. It's really, really
I
good.
just noticed the startup. I just noticed the startup is like also really good too. It's like you're anchoring one side of the leg first before moving the other one to make it a spin motion.
Oh yeah, like this, it's just a lot of attention to detail on just where the body is moving, or where the legs is moving specifically, and the rest of the animation follows through with it. Like this is a good, you get what I mean. Like, you see the start, and then the start is telling you, hey, it's going to do this, and then it does it. And then once it's done, the animation is like, okay, this is what happens when it's done. And it's clear, and that's good. I honestly contest that to just having like a super simple character where you can actually like be able to fix that kind of stuff. Yeah, overall, like a really strong animation here.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe a little gripe. It's just me, maybe. It's just the thickness of the black outline at the edge of Faith.
Oh yeah, that's weird. It's
Oh,
thick.
oh yeah, there's some like clustering there. Yeah, no,
like,
that's
there's like a thick one. I don't think it's important to thicken the lines there
yeah.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. It could look wrong if you remove it too, and that's why I'm completely unsure of right now.
I think it'd be fine without it. Like reducing the colors, because it's not more so of okay, this is gonna look weird without it. It's like where are you erasing? You know, you gotta the parts where it's looking like it's gonna be part of the smear. Color that part red instead, or like the dark shade of red or something like that. Like there's like a gradient of some sort.
Yeah.
If it's like the darker red or just like normal red, then it'd be fine. But the thing that is like making it so stand out-ish is because it's solid black. It's the outline. And if the rest of the animation is like a 1x1 pixel, and then in the animation of the spin has like this cluster of like pixels there, it just visually looks weirder than without it. So I would definitely say to reduce it down to either like a one solid line or just like make it like one line side thing or whatever. Like it's
Or darker.
yeah.
A darker line. It's
There-
up to you what to do with that.
Yeah, but I would give this a solid 9 out of 10. Like I
Yeah.
know we gave the last really good animation a 10 out of 10. This is a solid 9, and I think the black clusters of the lines is the one keeping it out the way. But again, you got a lot of attention to detail here. It is it's just good. Just really good animation. But that is all of the animations we have for today.
Cool.
So just a double check. Yep, nope, that's all of them. Yeah. Thank you everybody for checking in on the stream. Thank you everybody who sent in submissions. And for more submissions and all that, just send it to the Animation Experts channel. Be sure to keep all your animations within 300 size resolute, like 300 scaling, or ×3 scaling. If you want anything like a specific note that you feel like you want us to focus on, tell us that as well. And yeah, we will try and do this on the Wednesdays that we say that we were going to do it, but things came up, so.
I basically got sick, so that's why
Yeah.
we're doing it this time. Yeah.
But,
Anyway, someone casually met Satsumi over the bed. Fall asleep. Because it is like 5:30 a.m. for me.
yeah,
Oh god.
Yeah.
but
Anyway, remember to shine your ray and reach your dream.
all right.
Keep it simple, guys. Keep it simple.
Peace out, everybody.